Have you ever felt like you're standing at a crossroads, with countless dreams and burning ambitions in your heart, yet completely unsure of the path you should take? You're not alone. Many of us find ourselves lost in a maze of possibilities, chasing one thing after another, but never feeling like we're truly moving forward. That feeling of being adrift, I've been there. I remember staring at my future, overwhelmed by a chaotic jumble of I want this and I need that, yet I lacked the map, the guiding compass to help me navigate. I felt stuck, like a ship without a rudder, watching the waves of life push me in every direction except the one I wanted to go. But here's the truth. Clarity is the key. When you understand what you truly want, focus your energy, and take consistent, purposeful steps, life begins to align. In today's video, we'll uncover 5 transformative secrets rooted in Stoic philosophy to help you achieve your dreams with confidence and direction. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're actionable steps. You'll learn how to build mental resilience, set goals with clarity, and cultivate daily habits that lead to success. So stay with me to the end, because each secret builds on the last to create a complete roadmap. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you already tried techniques that worked for you? Share your story in the comments. It might just inspire someone else. 1. Deciding what you truly want. Why is it so hard to decide what we truly want? The answer lies within the layers of fear, doubt, and expectations we carry with us. Fear of failure whispers in our ear, telling us it's better not to try than to fall short. Societal norms weigh heavily on us, pushing us toward predefined ideas of success, a stable career, a house, a car. And then there's the overwhelming paralysis of indecision, where the sheer number of options makes choosing feel impossible. But there's a hidden cost to indecision. Without clarity, we drift. Picture a ship without a rudder, tossed aimlessly by the waves. It doesn't matter how strong the ship is or how favorable the wind is. Without direction, it will never reach its destination. Similarly, without a clear understanding of what we truly value, our efforts scatter, and we lose energy pursuing paths that ultimately leave us unfulfilled. The Stoics teach us to focus on what is within our control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When we align our actions with our core values, decisions become easier, not because the path is without challenge, but because it becomes purposeful. Understanding what truly matters provides a compass, a sense of direction that guides us through the noise of modern life. I remember a time in my own life when I felt utterly lost. Like many, I thought I wanted success, but when someone asked me to define it, I froze. I mumbled something about wanting to earn a lot of money, yet deep down, I knew I had no idea what a lot meant or what I would do with it. I chased vague notions, security, prestige, recognition, without questioning if they aligned with my true desires. In my early 20s, I got caught in the whirlwind of must-haves. A stable job, a house, a car. On the surface, it seemed like I was on track. But inside, I felt a gnawing emptiness. Something was missing, but I couldn't name it. Then, during a conversation with someone I deeply respected, an older peer whose wisdom I admired, I opened up about my struggles. Instead of offering generic advice, he simply asked, "What do you really want?" I told him I wanted to make a lot of money. He didn't argue, but followed up with another question, "And what would you do with it? Buy a house, a car, or something more meaningful?" His words hit me like a wave. I realized I had been pursuing goals handed to me by society rather than seeking what resonated with my soul. That conversation forced me to reflect. I started asking myself deeper questions. Why was money important? What was I trying to achieve through it? Was I seeking freedom, security, or perhaps a sense of purpose? It was uncomfortable to confront these questions, but slowly I began to see patterns. The things I truly valued, freedom to explore, the ability to support loved ones, and the chance to create something meaningful, became clear. The clarity changed everything. It felt as if a fog had lifted, and I could finally see the road ahead. Decisions I had struggled with before now felt natural. This is the power of knowing what you want, not in vague terms, but in specific, tangible ways that resonate with your values. In Stoic philosophy, clarity is an essential virtue. Epictetus reminds us to focus on what is up to us, rather than what lies outside our control. By identifying and committing to what aligns with our values, we remove the distractions that pull us in different directions. We don't waste energy chasing what others say we should want or fearing what might go wrong. If you're struggling with indecision, start with reflection. Take a moment to visualize your ideal day. Not your dream vacation or retirement, but an ordinary day that fills you with satisfaction. What does it look like? Who are you with? What are you doing? Write it down. Be honest with yourself and don't hold back. This isn't about what others expect of you. It's about what resonates with your core. Once you've captured that vision, take the next step. Break it down into smaller pieces. If you value financial freedom, what specific number represents that for you? If you want meaningful work, what does that look like? The more precise you are, the clearer your path becomes. Clarity is not a one-time event, it's a process. Life will change, and so will you. What matters today might not matter tomorrow. The Stoics teach us to adapt without losing focus, to continually reassess and realign. Like a captain adjusting the sails to navigate shifting winds, you too must remain flexible while staying true to your direction. Remember, without a clear goal, even your best efforts can feel wasted. But when you know what you want, each step, no matter how small, feels purposeful. And that purpose fuels resilience, determination, and a sense of peace that only comes from living authentically. So what do you truly want? Take the time to answer, not for anyone else, but for yourself. Write it down. Let it guide you. Because once you decide, everything changes. Your mind focuses, your actions align, and the waves that once tossed you aimlessly now propel you toward your destination. 2. Why focus beats hustle. We live in a world that glorifies busyness. The constant hustle, the packed schedules, the endless to-do lists, these have become badges of honor. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, does being busy mean being productive? The truth is, that activity doesn't always equal progress. You can work from morning until night, yet feel like nothing significant has been achieved. That's because effort without direction is like pouring water into a sieve. It drains you without filling you. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or rather, do what's essential." It's not about doing nothing, but about choosing what truly matters. A focused mind, like a well-sharpened blade, can cut through distractions and bring clarity. Hustle, on the other hand, often scatters energy. Imagine a laser beam versus a flashlight. A flashlight illuminates a broad area but lacks intensity. A laser, with its concentrated energy, can cut through steel. That's the power of focus. When you channel your efforts toward a specific goal, your results multiply. But when you divide your attention among countless tasks, you dilute your energy, leaving little impact on anything. I learned this the hard way. There was a time in my life when I prided myself on how busy I was. My calendar was overflowing with meetings, deadlines, and personal projects. From the outside, I looked like someone achieving great things, but inside, I was exhausted, burned out, and frustrated. I felt like I was running on a treadmill, working hard but getting nowhere. One day I sat down and asked myself, what have I truly accomplished this week? The answer shocked me. While I had crossed off many items on my list, none of them moved me closer to the things I valued most. I was mistaking movement for progress. The turning point came when I began prioritizing my actions. Inspired by the idea of focus, I decided to narrow my efforts to 3 key areas in my life: my career, my health, and my relationships. Every day, I asked myself one simple question. What is the one thing I can do today that will make the biggest difference? This shift was transformative. To illustrate, consider 2 examples. First, imagine someone trying to learn a new skill, like playing the guitar. They spend 10 minutes one day, 15 minutes the next, and skip the day after. Compare that to someone who commits 30 focused minutes daily, undistracted. In a month, the second person will have made far greater progress. Not because they worked longer hours, but because their effort was consistent and directed. Now think of an entrepreneur trying to grow their business. One spends the day answering emails, attending meetings, and managing crises. The other dedicates 2 hours of deep, uninterrupted focus to strategy and client development. By the end of the week, the second entrepreneur will likely achieve more meaningful results despite working fewer hours overall. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of purposeful action. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." The waste often comes from aimless activity, doing things because we feel we should, rather than because they align with our purpose. The solution isn't to stop working, but to work smarter. If you find yourself overwhelmed by tasks, step back and reflect. Are you focusing on what truly matters? If the answer is no, it's time to realign your efforts. Start by identifying your priorities. What are the 3 things in your life that matter most to you? Write them down. Then, each morning, ask yourself, what one action today will have the biggest impact on these priorities? Next, eliminate distractions. The Stoics often spoke of avoiding unnecessary things, be it thoughts, emotions, or actions. In today's world, distractions come in many forms: notifications, emails, social media. Protect your focus like a precious resource. Turn off what isn't essential, set boundaries, and create an environment that supports deep work. Finally, accept that not everything can be done. There's freedom in realizing you don't have to do it all. As the Stoics taught, focus on what is within your control and let go of the rest. By doing less but doing it with intention, you'll achieve more than you ever thought possible. In hindsight, my constant hustle was a trap. I wasn't chasing success, I was chasing validation. I thought being busy meant being important. But when I let go of the need to do everything, I found peace, clarity, and effectiveness. So, if you feel stuck in the hustle, remember this: progress doesn't come from running faster, but from running in the right direction. Find your focus, channel your energy, and let the rest fall away. Because when you do less but do it with purpose, you unlock the power to achieve what truly matters. 3. Consistency over perfection. Why does consistency matter so much? The answer is simple yet profound. Small, sustained efforts create momentum that leads to remarkable change over time. Think of a drop of water falling on a stone. Individually, each drop seems insignificant, but with time and persistence, the drops wear down the stone, achieving what brute force could not. In today's fast-paced world, many chase instant results. We're surrounded by quick-fix solutions, overnight success stories, and the pressure to achieve everything immediately. But the truth is, real progress is rarely flashy or immediate. It comes from showing up day after day and doing the work, even when the results seem distant. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca wrote, "Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily." Consistency, not perfection, shapes us. It's not about being flawless every step of the way, it's about moving forward steadily, even if progress feels slow or imperfect. I remember my friend, a father of 2, who decided to improve his fitness. Inspired by a desire to set an example for his kids, he started strong. Intense gym sessions, strict diets, and ambitious goals. But within weeks, he felt overwhelmed. One missed workout turned into 2, and soon he stopped altogether. Months later, he tried a different approach. Instead of aiming for perfection, he focused on consistency. He committed to a simple daily walk, no matter how short or how busy his schedule was. Some days it was 10 minutes, other days he went further. The key was showing up. Slowly, those walks became a habit, and his confidence grew. Over time, he added light exercises and healthier meals. The transformation wasn't dramatic at first, but it was lasting. Today, he's healthier and happier, and still walks daily. This story reminds me of another example, one you might relate to. Think of someone trying to learn a new language. Many people start with enthusiasm, cramming vocabulary lists and watching tutorials for hours. But when they don't see quick progress, frustration sets in, and they quit. Now imagine someone who dedicates just 15 minutes a day to learning. Over months, those minutes add up, and the once daunting task becomes second nature. Another vivid example is building financial stability. Picture someone who decides to save aggressively, but gives up after one unexpected expense disrupts their plan. Contrast that with someone who saves a small, consistent amount each month. At first, the impact seems minimal, but over time, the habit of saving compounds creates a sense of security and growth. Consistency is the quiet force that drives meaningful change. It may not offer instant gratification, but it delivers lasting results. The Stoics embraced this idea, emphasizing the importance of daily practice. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his routines, reminding himself that mastery comes from repetition, not sudden brilliance. If you've struggled with maintaining consistency, it's likely because perfectionism has gotten in the way. Many of us believe that if we can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. But the pursuit of perfection often leads to paralysis. We delay starting because the conditions aren't right, or we abandon efforts because they don't meet an unrealistic standard. The Stoic approach offers a wiser path. Instead of seeking perfection, aim for progress. Break down big goals into manageable steps. Focus on the present moment, asking yourself, what is one small thing I can do today to move forward? If you're working toward a goal, think about creating habits that feel sustainable. Like my friend with his daily walks, start small. If you want to read more, commit to just 1 page a day. If you're improving your diet, begin with 1 healthier choice per meal. These small actions might feel insignificant, but they add up. Another crucial element is tracking your efforts. Journaling, for example, is a powerful Stoic practice that can help you stay consistent. At the end of each day, reflect on what you accomplished, no matter how small. This habit not only builds accountability, but also reinforces the belief that you are capable of change. Most importantly, embrace the idea that setbacks are part of the journey. The Stoics often reminded themselves that life is unpredictable and obstacles will arise. What matters is how you respond. If you miss a day, pick up where you left off. If progress feels slow, trust the process. Looking back, my friend's transformation didn't come from one grand decision or flawless execution. It came from the steady rhythm of small, intentional actions. The same principle applies to anything you want to achieve in life. Whether it's improving your health, learning a new skill, or building stronger relationships, consistency is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. So start today. Show up, even if it's imperfect. Take 1 step, then another. Let go of the need to get everything right and focus on building habits that align with your values. Over time, those small, consistent efforts will lead to extraordinary results. Along the way, you'll discover something even more powerful: peace of mind, knowing you're on the right path. 4. Building your circle of influence. The people we spend the most time with have a profound impact on our lives. They influence how we think, how we act, and even how we see ourselves. If you spend time with ambitious, growth-oriented individuals, their drive will inspire you. But if your circle is filled with negativity or complacency, it becomes a weight, holding you back from your true potential. The Stoics recognized this long before modern psychology confirmed it. Epictetus said, "Seek people who will make you better." To the Stoics, the company you keep wasn't just a matter of preference. It was a deliberate choice. Surrounding yourself with people who embody the qualities you admire is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Their example encourages you to rise to their level, and their influence subtly shapes your mindset and behavior. This truth became clear to me during one of the most uncertain periods of my life. I've mentioned my older peer before, someone whose advice helped me clarify what I truly wanted. But his impact went beyond advice. He became a living example of the kind of person I wanted to be. His approach to life was different from anyone else I knew. While others around me focused on surface-level achievements or short-term wins, he worked quietly but consistently on building something meaningful. He was disciplined yet humble, ambitious but grounded. Being around him made me reflect on my own habits and my own vision for life. He didn't lecture me or impose his views. Instead, his actions spoke louder than words, showing me the kind of clarity and purpose I could achieve if I committed to growth. But my story is just one example. I've seen the transformative power of association in others too. There was a man I knew who had spent years struggling with his business. He was hardworking, determined, and full of ideas, yet success always seemed to elude him. Part of the reason was his environment. His closest friends were comfortable with mediocrity. They lived for the weekend, didn't set goals, and had no interest in personal growth. Without realizing it, their mindset was influencing him too. Things changed when he joined a mastermind group of driven entrepreneurs. These were people who set bold goals, shared strategies, and held each other accountable. For the first time, he was in a space where ambition wasn't just accepted, it was expected. Week by week, his thinking began to shift. He stopped playing small and started taking calculated risks. His confidence grew as he saw others achieve what he once thought impossible. Within a year, his business tripled in size. It wasn't magic, it was the power of being surrounded by the right people. The Stoics believed in the principle of symbiosis, the idea that we grow through mutual support and shared values. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the gratitude he felt toward those who had guided him. He saw their influence not as mere chance, but as a critical factor in his own development. If you're feeling stuck or unmotivated, it's worth asking yourself, who are the people closest to you? Are they pushing you to grow, or are they keeping you in your comfort zone? This can be a difficult question to answer honestly, because it forces us to confront relationships we may have outgrown or ones that no longer serve our higher purpose. One of the most practical steps you can take is to actively seek out environments that align with your goals. If your current circle doesn't reflect the mindset you aspire to, look beyond it. Join communities where personal growth and ambition are celebrated. Online platforms like LinkedIn or even local events can be excellent places to find people who share your values. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to think bigger, work smarter, and dream bolder. But building the right circle isn't just about connecting with successful people. What matters most is their mindset. Look for individuals who are curious, resilient, and open to growth. Their qualities will rub off on you, encouraging you to develop similar traits. And don't underestimate the value of a mentor. Having someone who has walked the path you're on can provide invaluable guidance. That doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life harshly. The Stoic approach is more measured. It's not about abandoning relationships, but about being intentional with your time and energy. If someone consistently drains your focus or undermines your goals, it's okay to create distance. Prioritize relationships that uplift and inspire you. When I think back to my own journey, I realize how much my mentor shaped not just my decisions, but my perspective. His influence gave me the courage to step outside my comfort zone and pursue goals I once thought were out of reach. Similarly, when I connected with other driven individuals, their energy became a force that propelled me forward. If you want to transform your life, start by transforming your circle. Align yourself with people who reflect the qualities you admire. Seek out relationships that challenge you to grow, support you when you stumble, and celebrate your victories. These are the connections that will not only help you succeed, but also make the journey more meaningful. Your environment shapes your potential more than you might think. Choose wisely, because the right people won't just support your goals, they'll inspire you to aim even higher. 5. Developing a growth mindset. Life is unpredictable. Challenges arise when we least expect them, testing our resilience and resolve. It's in these moments that our mindset matters most. How we perceive setbacks, whether as barriers or as stepping stones, shapes the course of our journey. Modern psychology and neuroscience affirm this. The mind is wired to adapt, but only if we allow it. A fixed mindset, which clings to limitations, can trap us in a cycle of self-doubt. But a growth mindset, one that views challenges as opportunities, unlocks the power to transform adversity into triumph. The Stoics were masters of this perspective. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." To the Stoics, obstacles were not threats, but teachers. Each hardship was a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more focused. This philosophy isn't just ancient wisdom. It's a timeless tool for navigating the complexities of modern life. I remember a close friend from school who embodied this transformation. He had always been ambitious, pouring his energy into building a business straight out of college. For years, it seemed like everything was falling into place. But then, out of nowhere, the market shifted. His investments crumbled and his business failed. It wasn't just a financial loss. It was a blow to his confidence and identity. For months, he wrestled with shame and regret, replaying his mistakes in his mind. He avoided conversations about his failure and withdrew from the people who cared about him. It was as if he'd accepted that he wasn't cut out for success. But then something changed. Instead of running from his failure, he began to face it head-on. One day, during a conversation, he told me, "I realized I had two choices. I could let this define me, or I could learn from it." He started small, reading books on business strategy, reflecting on where he'd gone wrong, and reconnecting with mentors. He stopped seeing failure as proof of inadequacy and began viewing it as feedback, a guide to what could be done differently next time. Within 2 years, he launched another business, this time with a sharper focus and a clearer plan. Today, he's thriving, not because he avoided failure, but because he learned to embrace it. I've witnessed similar resilience in another story that remains close to my heart. A man I worked with lost his job unexpectedly, a position he had held for over a decade. At first, he felt devastated, overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear. But rather than letting this loss paralyze him, he chose to shift his mindset. Instead of seeing himself as a victim of circumstance, he saw the situation as an opportunity to reevaluate his life. He asked himself questions he had never dared to before. What do I truly want? What strengths have I been ignoring? He used the time to take courses, build skills, and network with others in his field. Within a year, he had not only found a new job, but had transitioned into a role that aligned with his passion and paid more than his previous position. These stories demonstrate a principle the Stoics lived by: control what you can and accept what you cannot. A growth mindset aligns perfectly with this teaching. When we stop fighting against reality and start working with it, we unlock our potential to adapt, evolve, and thrive. If you find yourself stuck in a fixed mindset, believing that your abilities, circumstances, or challenges are unchangeable, it's time to reframe your perspective. Start by questioning the narratives you've been telling yourself. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good at this," try asking, "How can I improve at this?" Instead of focusing on what's gone wrong, look for the opportunity hidden within the difficulty. One practical way to cultivate this mindset is to focus on incremental growth. Break down your challenges into smaller, manageable parts. For example, if you're facing a major setback at work, identify one skill you can develop or one step you can take today to move forward. These small wins build momentum, reinforcing the belief that progress is possible. Another powerful tool is journaling. Reflect on your setbacks, but don't stop at recounting them. Write about what you learned, how you've grown, and what you'll do differently next time. This practice not only shifts your focus from failure to growth, but also trains your brain to see challenges as opportunities for improvement. Lastly, surround yourself with people who embody the growth mindset. Just as a negative environment can reinforce limiting beliefs, a supportive circle can inspire you to aim higher and push through obstacles. Seek out mentors, peers, or even online communities that encourage resilience and adaptability. The Stoics remind us that life is a constant ebb and flow of trials and triumphs. What matters most is not the events themselves, but how we respond to them. Each setback is an invitation to grow, each failure a chance to recalibrate and move forward. When I think back to my friend's journey or the man who rebuilt his career, I see the power of this mindset in action. They didn't wait for perfect conditions or external validation. They chose to adapt, to learn, and to keep going. So if you're facing a challenge right now, ask yourself, how can I turn this into an opportunity? The answer may not come immediately, but with time and the right mindset, you'll discover a path forward. And when you do, you'll realize that the greatest transformation isn't in the external results. It's in the strength, wisdom, and resilience you've gained along the way. As we reach the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect. The path to achieving everything you want in life isn't built on fleeting inspiration or surface-level effort. It's crafted through deliberate decisions, focused energy, consistent actions, meaningful relationships, and a resilient mindset. Each of these principles, rooted in timeless Stoic philosophy, serves as a compass to guide you through life's complexities. Remember, clarity is the first step. Without knowing what you truly desire, you'll wander aimlessly, expending energy without purpose. Next, direct your efforts with intention. Focus is far more powerful than constant hustle. It channels your energy toward what truly matters. Then, commit to consistency. Small, daily actions compound over time to create extraordinary results. Surround yourself with those who uplift and inspire you, because the company you keep shapes your potential. Finally, embrace a growth mindset. Every challenge you face holds the opportunity for growth if you choose to see it that way. The beauty of these principles lies in their simplicity. They don't demand perfection or drastic change overnight. Instead, they ask for your presence, your effort, and your willingness to keep moving forward, one step at a time. I encourage you to take these lessons and apply them in your life. Begin today. Choose one principle to focus on and integrate it into your daily routine. Over time, you'll notice a shift, not just in what you achieve, but in who you become. And now, I'd love to hear from you. What challenges have you faced, and how have you overcome them? Share your story in the comments below. Your experiences could inspire others to take their first step toward transformation. Together, we grow stronger.